Peace, 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 family. We out here, man. I told you I'm always go live and show you real work in the community, what this missionary work looks like, and what being a real organization, the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School, what we really do in the community when you organize the right way. When people telling you false truth about business and how one should and how one should navigate, and I don't think they're really explaining the dynamics of a business and what really being a 501c3 can do in your community, in your neighborhood, and how you can change things right in the area that you live in when you organize the right way, Moorish. We have the finances, we have all the support we need, and it's our own people in our community. And when we organize the right way, we can fall under one roof and we can teach our own children history, spirituality from a Moorish perspective, and they can have something to compare to, you know? But we just out here, man, downtown Arizona, man. You can see we right at the Talking Stick Arena. Check that out, that's the Talking Stick Arena. Nice too. And then they building across the street. I mean, it's nice down here, Arizona, man. I'm real nice out here, but yeah, we do real work in the community, man. We just got 50 more tickets, and I take 50 youth to every Phoenix Suns home game. I mean, this is what we do, Moors. We take 50 youth to every Phoenix Suns home game. So when Moors are confused about navigating and don't understand the real dynamics of business, that's sad, Moors. I mean, that's really sad when we're arguing over things that we really don't even know. And then when brothers really show you work that's going on in the community, the first thing you should be wondering is, how are these people navigating the right way? And we must teach business. Remember what I.S.L.A.M said, a beggar nation cannot save itself. So we should organize and stop getting our people caught up in misnomer, half-truths and things, you know? We gotta stop that, man. We gotta really do things the right way. We don't bash on each brother, we teach. And if brothers and sisters gonna be talking about, how can I say it, what 501c3 is and what it isn't, we'll teach you the whole dynamics of what a 501c3 consists of and the dynamics of it. When you're tax exempt from federal government, when you can teach spiritually, religiously, scientifically, educational wise, you're just like the Goodwill, just like the Boys and Girls Club. You can have your community. My tabernacle and school is set up the same way that Noble Drew Ali did it. I'm telling you, man, that 10-10-9 number, that's just an affidavit setting up your religious organization. I'm telling you, man. So it's just things that we do in the community, man. And this Thursday, we're going to be taking 50 kids to the Phoenix Suns and Detroit Pistons basketball game. And that's just what we do in the community, man. I'm going to be going back to my home state of Flint, Michigan in July, and we're going to be hosting a lecture in Flint and in Detroit. It's going to be free, but we're going to be asking for just a $20 donation. And with that $20 donation, you will get a copy of one of my books that I've gathered and compiled, myself and my empress. We gathered and compiled 10 research books. And then I'm also going to have a plethora of books that's informative and history books about Moorish science and history that I print on my printing press and that I order as well for my brothers and sisters. But yeah, man, it's just certain things that we all can agree upon, and we can, all Moors, no matter what your religion may be. I love my Hebrew Israelites. I love my Muslim brothers. I love all my brothers, man. But it's things that's universal that we must agree with and synchronize with if we're going to be one nationality in many cultures, Moors. So science is a thing that we can agree upon. Supreme law, supreme mathematics, nationality, the essence of science is things that we can agree upon. The zodiac laws is things that we can agree upon, Moors. You know, we should be teaching our children, our youth, that they're not Negro, black, and colored, that spirituality comes from them, that the Bible is not, and I have to say this, no so-called white man's book. I give a person $100 right now if they can show me in the biblical scriptures where it says that Yahshua was white man. The only way people get that is from signs and symbols, from the things that they show you. There's nowhere in the biblical text that tell you that Yahshua, whatever you want to call him, is a European. But we get that from signs and symbols and from stories, Moors. So all wisdom comes from the East. And things have been connotated, you know? And if Moors don't understand that, man, that's really sad. And there's no light in the person when they don't reveal truth. And they don't let a person know the context and the perspective of where certain things come from. You know what I mean, Moors? Got you caught up. That's why our American prophet said we don't get rid of none of our religious books, because we can break those down and break the science down in those books, man. You don't have to be under no religious dogma to be a scientist and break things down. If we are doctors and sheiks, that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to get the good out of everything and throw away the rest. If you a sheik, if you an adept, if you a theosophist. Come on, Moors, y'all should know this. We do not adapt to no one religious creed to where we miss the essence of all the rest. That's not supreme law. You know, we're law-abiding citizens. We abide by all the laws. And if anybody say they're not a law-abiding citizen, that's not more science, man, because we don't break any laws. I mean, we don't squat in houses. We don't do nothing illegal because we understand law. I understand what adverse mortgage and all that stuff is, but it's not squatting in a house in an area where that's not your community, which don't even make sense to be doing. We're supposed to be doing things in our community and changing the infrastructure of our community, not squat in some house in an area that you not wanted. That's why our community is all polite, all rubble. It look like a third world country. And we're letting other people come in and buy our property up for crumbs. And then we complain about our neighborhood and what's being taught. And all we have to do is buy our own infrastructure and organize. And then we can teach legally. Legally. You can teach, you can do everything. You can ask for donations legally. There's no reason to be complaining, Moors. The only reason why it's not happening, because a lot of Moors are not set up the right way. You know, we have a platform to do so many things, but we still choose to do it the wrong way, you know? And I don't think that's right. You know what I'm saying? I think everything that we should do should be on a platform that's legit. You know what I'm saying? Right, Moors? Everything should be on a platform that's legit. So we just having a conversation, man. We just talking to brothers and sisters today, man. But I really hope Moors understand what I'm saying when I say holy and divine creed. Holy and divine creed. My hat fell off, man. Sorry, Moors. I'm getting in. Hold on, Moor. It's super hot out here in Arizona, man. It's almost 80 degrees. Hold on 1 second, Moor. Let me take my jacket off. off of my face, Morris. Give your brother a minute. All right, but back to that point. Let me turn Nas down. But that back to that point of removing our children from the public schools. I really don't think we should remove our kids from public schools more, because there's things there that I really believe they should pick up on and be able to ask questions and have something to compare to. Peace, peace, peace. So what we should be doing is developing our own schools. Like, for instance, when Noble Drew Ali and a lot of the other Moors and even the Muslims, when they had temples in Detroit and Chicago, their holy day was Friday when they didn't go to the public schools. And they spent the whole day at the temples learning and studying. But I believe it's very necessary to have a balance, Moors. Yes, we should have our own school, but just like the European Jews, they have their Jewish school. They don't stop their children from participating in the public schools, but they have their own Jewish schooling. So where they learn from their own perspective, and they're organized the same way that we should be organized in our community. Right in our community, Moors. Establishing our Moorish schools. Like, I have the Burning Bush Science Temple in school. So that's why I say our kids need to have a balance and something to compare to. So when they come across Eurocentric propaganda, when they come across, how can I say, a pseudo-academia, they can come from a place of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and say, well, I understand what you're saying, teacher, or whoever you may be speaking of, but for the record, there's other literature, peer-reviewed science, that you can combat the Eurocentric propaganda and give our children something to compare to. We want our children to know both sides. That's the complete art of war. When I hear brothers saying, oh, they study Sun Tzu, well, that's great, but the complete art of war is understanding science, understanding how everyone thinks, understanding both sides, so you can operate. How can I play on a level playing field when you can sit at the round table in each house? That's why when brothers say, when I hear Moors dissing academia and college, I say that you should never tell young Moors not to go study. What we should be doing while they're going to that academia is giving them the peer-reviewed scholarly research that they can combat to what the academia is giving them. And I'm coming from a place of wisdom because I've been there. I have a bachelor's degree in business management with a minor in marketing and sales and advertising, and I graduated with honors. And I also have a master's degree with honors in first century history and religious history. I'm doing my doctoral in indigenous people law and policy. So I'm not speaking of a place of a biasness. I'm speaking of a place to where you can get in that academia and prove your point from scholarship. They might not like your candor, which a lot of professors was telling me, but it was nothing they can do. So that's why I say, man, I operate in love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and my 2 cents, health and wealth, because all through history, you can show Moors all through history, not just in Egypt, which is a Greek name, all over the world, Europe, all over. We're talking about all these areas, but we're right here in the States, Moors. It's a lot of science that we don't know because we're not scholars. It's the same thing as we were doing when I hear Moors talking about Europeans or the white men tell you to do this, do this. Well, it's the same thing with a lot of Moors in science. Only thing Moors are reading is what somebody tell them to read. That's program learning. Most Moors don't even read the complete Circle 7 Quran. And I'm like, how can you say you a Moorish American and our prophet wrote a holy book and you don't even read it and know it from the front and the back? That doesn't even make sense. And when I talk about the Hebrew prophet, and when I talk about the circle and the circle, even the logos is Greek, but Moors, they don't understand what I'm saying when they diss in the Hebrew God. And I'm like, our diet is the Hebrew diet. Our paperwork, we are from the tribe of Judah, lineage of David by blood. We don't diss anything, we synchronize it. So I just think we need a really, really history lesson, on science, man. And some brothers may be in one part of history, but a lot of things, I take it in first century and I do the historical aspect, not the niggardly aspect where you see brothers and sisters talking about they're exposing brothers and sisters on what? What are we exposing brothers and sisters on? We should be enlightening brothers. You know, because COINTEL, those are real words, man. When I tell brothers, do you know what COINTEL mean? Like Ron Karinga, the one that set up that fake Kwanzaa, that fake history, that's not real. Research what he did. Research what type of man he was. I mean, this man kidnapped women, tortured them. I mean, then they just throw stuff at us. When you look at Roots, all that was fake. Alex Haley plagiarized that from a book called The African by a European called Colander. I mean, it's certain things that we should research and study so we can know. When I give you books, like for instance, when I was speaking yesterday, and a lot of brothers like, I didn't know Henry Ford wrote a book and spent his own money, over $5 million, when he was exposing the Jews. Like, those are not Jews. Like, those are people that was vanished from Poland and Bolivia and Russian. You know, he like those were that he like. And even Roslander, he wrote a book, The 13th Tribe, saying that those are Khazars. So you don't have to listen to me. What we should be doing is studying scientifically. And even in the New York Times, Hitler was telling you, like, these are Jesuits. These are not the Israelite. The Israelite is the Hamite, the Oriental. These are their words, Moors. So standing on your square is understanding history, understanding spirituality, connecting the dots. And a lot of times you get lost because the words are changed. Like, for instance, in old writings and ancient writings, Ethiopia is Abyssinia. That's the historical name. So a lot of times in writings, when you see Abyssinia, a lot of times the Moors don't know what Abyssinia is. That's Ethiopia, Moors. A lot of times they confuse you with landmass. A lot of maps are not even valid. The MacArthur map that's in school, that map is not even valid. They have Greenland bigger than the continent of Africa. And you can research Oprah. I forget the European lady, the doctor. She's a smart lady. She showed you that the map is fake. I mean, these are the things that we should be teaching our babies. I don't care what religion you are. If you are a scientist and if you are Moor, you understand the triple rows of the adapt chamber. You understand the zodiac laws. You understand Moorish master masonry. You understand the triple rows of the adapt chamber. You understand the clock of destiny. And you deal with the essence, Moors. We deal with the essence of everything. And that's how we win on this earth plane. When I tell brothers and sisters, when I do lectures at other universities and when other nationalities there, they are applying this wisdom. You don't see them on YouTube arguing about things. A lot of brothers are giving you, how can I call it, man? How can I call this, Moors? A lot of things with a lot of Masons, you see them showing you exoteric, and they saying it's esoteric science. That's not nothing. Those signs and symbols don't mean nothing. Those are allegorical parables. No one is killing no one in those temples. You got to understand about what is symbology. When they talk about someone is dying and putting on a new life, it's symbology. And a lot of Moors are getting caught up in the allegorical aspect of it. But we must get into the holistic aspect of it as well, understanding the esoteric and the exo. The exoteric is the outer meaning, the regular meaning when people, the general public may know it. The esoteric is the inner meaning, but it's another meaning, and that's the holistic meaning where it's called applying these sciences. And other nationalities are applying it. Like the European Master Masons, they're applying it, man. When a European cross 32 and 33 degrees, they put on the fez. They become Shriners. They become sons of Muslims. They practice I.S.L.A.M. If you're a pastor or Master Mason, he know who the father of civilization is because he understands the supreme laws. I promise you, Moors, I come in peace. I know a lot of Master Masons. I teach at lodges. I know a lot of Prince Hall brothers. They are sons of Muslims when they put the fez on. And a lot of the brothers, they don't even understand any science because a lot of them have put them under some oath where they're not teaching them the science. Because once they understand the science, they understand it's all about them. And my empresses, the Eastern Stars, they understand that it's all about you. And the Daughters of American Revolution are not going to tell you that. Why you think when a European, when they have the fez, Arabia and all that science is on it? And why our tassel is not taped down? Because our wisdom spent 360. I mean, it's degrees. It's the reason why my tassel is longer. This is no make-believe stuff, man. That's why our prophet set the temple up. He didn't say elected, but appointed. You must be appointed to position, meaning it must be something under your fez. People that's giving themselves sheik, man, if you a sheik, that was nothing but a trustee. Read the bylaws and sit down, because there's nothing under that fez. There's nothing under that turban. But you can be a sheik, meaning you can read the bylaws just like a trustee. But today, to be a sheik, to be an adept, it must be something under this fez. That's why we were appointed to certain positions, not elected. I hope more is understanding what I'm saying, man. But we must teach these degrees. We must start at a place where we must bring our people up. And I love using analogies like I'll take my teeth out and start off on Similac and build my brothers up. This is a holy and divine. The holy and divine, not vice versa, or not one without the other. When you hear brothers, oh, I just deal with civics, I don't deal with the spiritual. That's not more science. How can you? And then when the brothers say civics is understanding your people, understanding citizens. So if you're not dealing with the people, understanding international law, understanding local, state, and federal law, man, you definitely tripping. The brothers be getting people locked up with this right to drive and right to travel. Those are two different things. And driving with or without a license is not a federal law. That's a state and a local law. You got to understand the reason why certain jurisdictions have certain laws and things. Instead of listening to a person give you one paragraph and they won't read it all to you. I'm telling you, man, it's so much. Your own Moor can fraudulently conceal things from you. When this is fraudulent concealment, Moors. If a brother gives you something, only give you a piece, and you run with that crap, knowing that's not all valid, and he knowing that's not all valid, you wouldn't have did the dumb thing you were doing if you would have had all the information. That's what a lot of brothers are doing. We're getting brothers excited over things like you're supposed to get something. Some vast estate. You are the vast estate. It's only one temple. It ain't you're not finna get nothing. Once you understand that you are a business, then you operate the right way and set up yourself as a business. Then you navigate. But the other stuff brothers doing, I don't know what brothers doing. They lying. That 1010 number ain't nothing but an affidavit. How our prophet set up the Moorish Science Temple. If anybody tell you anything different, they lying. If they tell you that's set up to some estate, tell them to show them what estate they got. I'm nationalized through the Moorish Science Temple of America, and I'm telling you it's only one temple. Period. Exactly. And then the ones Moors, I'm telling you, if a person telling you not to do all that, all you got to do is say, let me see you doing it. Let me see how you navigating. That's all you have to ask. You don't have to get into no debate with a person. You don't have to get into a long conversation or someone telling you do this, do this, do this. If someone telling you to do that, the first thing you should ask, why you're not doing it? And you telling me to do something. They should be doing everything they telling you to do. So the thing you should be saying, okay, let me see you driving without plates and navigating that way. And then I can show you a way that it is a way to do things when you set up the right way, when you're tax exempt, when you operate as a business. When just like other organizations like the Goodwill and like all them other places, they're tax exempt and they don't pay taxes on certain things. I can show you that as a real business, as all nonprofits are. But if a Moor saying you can ride with no tag and no license, some can. And don't get me wrong, because I know all the color of the law. But is that something that you want to do? And if that's something that you want to do, well, you take up that fight. I'm not dissing what nobody's doing, because some people are doing what they want. But if that's not a fight that you want to promulgate, why do that? And why go through the hassle? Or more tell you, oh, money is fiat, then they want you to send them money. Then they telling you not to pay taxes, but they all filing taxes. Tell them to show you. Because I'm telling you, the Moorish Science Temple of America, they have a tax exempt number. I use it all the time. And my temple, my organization, the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School, we have our own tax exempt number. That's how I don't pay taxes on things. That's how my vehicles, when I buy vehicles, I don't pay taxes. That's how all my utilities and things at my personal where I reside, I don't pay taxes. That's how a lot of my students, when they donate for our books, I can give them a tax exempt receipt and they can claim it on their taxes. Any literature you get from me is a donation. And that's how I'll be able to go into the schools and teach, because the schools donate. And if they can't pay what I ask for, I draw it up as in-kind service. And that's how we can go into schools and teach our babies. Our girls that does hair and beauticians, we fall under the nonprofit. We can teach our babies that and license our babies. How? Under our own nonprofit in our schooling. That's how I go to colleges and elementaries, the hard to hit fund and teach. Because I'm a nonprofit. Some places I just go and donate and be like, I want to come teach the kids some real history. Some of the schools say they can't pay, they have this, and I come. And so now I'm just blessed to, now I'm a lot of schools, a lot of organizations, they're asking me to come, and my donation is not even free. I mean, my fee is not even a lot. Brothers be paying people thousands and thousands of dollars to come speak, man, and I only charge $500 as a donation, but I come with literature. Everybody donate, they get literature. When people donate $20, I give them literature. And you get a tax exempt receipt, but I show Moors how to navigate. Man, look, I used to be on Instagram, and I'm finna leave you with this. I used to be on Instagram, and when I was at the community colleges out here, I did a lecture. I did a lecture at the it's called I.S.L.A.M Community College, and a professor there saw one of my lectures online. Just called me out the blue. Now he's a Mason, and he was like, brother, I know you are more. He was like, brother, can you please come and teach science from your perspective? From your perspective, they're not getting me. They need to hear from a brother that's righteous, this, that, and the other. Just look me out from the blue. Boom. I come up to the school. Out here in Arizona, it's more of a Latino, Mexican per se. That's a misnomer. But it's a lot of that nationality. I went and I taught those students about nonprofit, and then you have 501c3 all the way to 50c10, the dynamics of it, why you should have a nonprofit in your community, especially if your friends are basketball players and athletes and have money, why you should operate a nonprofit, because that's how you can get things donated and change your community. And I showed them about quick 30 accounts, and I showed them how to establish their credit. And when they graduate from college, and how I teach my elementary and my high school kids, when they graduate out of high school, they have their own tax exempt status, their own EIN, and their company have $1,000, and you can pull up their company on the Duns and Bradstreet. And that's how you start operating as a business. Tax exempt from the federal government. You can teach spiritually, religious, scientific, educational, all legit. You can be just like the Girl Scouts selling your asking for donations. You can be in the community and teach. You can get all a raggedy houses that they done tore down, all the land donated to you, or for pennies. I'm from Flint, Michigan, man. I grew up on West Patterson Street. You know, I tell everybody, my brother was murdered in 2006. That's why I moved to Arizona, by a Negro, black, and color. I had to get myself together. I'm okay to say that. But in my community, when I go back to Flint in July, I'm gonna show you, man, everything is just plight, and the city have torn down everything. A lot of the property they donated to me, some I bought for tennis shoe money. And I almost got a whole side street with both houses. They're going to tear down by like 8 more houses. I'm going to wait for them to tear them down. I just want the land. I don't want raggedy houses. And we're going to put pole barns up. And we're going to have our charter community prayerfully through Allah's will. And we're going to have a charter community, and we can teach and have our own Moorish neighborhoods. And prayerfully we can continue to do that block for block. It can be done. And that's what I'm asking my people. We do things in our community. We change the infrastructure in our own area, Moors. It can be done. Don't nobody want that plight in our community but us. We can change it. We can change it. And we arguing about what our children being taught. We know they being taught crap. We went to the education. We went to those schooling. We know that. But what are we going to do with it? What are we going to do about it? You're going to keep complaining. I'm going to keep seeing Moors complain about the white man this. And I say, I thought you was a Moor. Why aren't you teaching the babies? I don't see no Moors with their babies. I don't see no Moors with their wives. When I see lessons, I like, it's all, where's the community? We need to be teaching our people that they're not Negro, black, and colored. We need to be teaching them some real history about the war of Ferdinand and Isabella. What Jesus I.S.L.A.M book is. That's a slave ship. Why they told them to strip the indigenous people from their turbans and fezzes. Why they switch words and things. Give you something to compare it to in the 1599 Geneva Bible. It doesn't say African and Ethiopian, it says Moor. Why Shakespeare talk about Othello the Moor? Those are things you should be asking. Those are things that you should be asking. All the great writers, Gerald Massey, everybody that wrote about the Moors. It's so much. But we have some rotten apples that try to make it all look bad, and that's with everything. That's just with Negro black colors. Everybody is not black. It's not bad. We must investigate it and take the good out of everything and throw the bad away, Moors. More science. It's more science. And that's everything. Astronomy, mathematics, the constellations, the zodiac laws, masonry, agriculture, business, you know, nation building, understanding language, understanding real history, not pseudo-academia, not Eurocentric propaganda, understanding real international law, understanding real civics, understanding local, state, and federal law, having real structured classes. That's what I do, Moors, and I hope my brothers and sisters join in. You don't have to be in Arizona to be a part of this. You can be a part of it just like the online school. I have 10 people that's part of my online school, and they donate, and they get a tax-exempt receipt, and they get all the literature. So you can teach. And if Moors want me to come to their state, I'll come. And we do lecture, I'll teach. I show you how to nationalize through the right way through the Moorish Science Temple of America if you want to. And I also give you the information. It's your right to nationalize. Obama said in 2010, you have a right of a nationality, but what was so prophetic of what he said is you have a right to change it. You have a right to change it. And the claim of your child replaces the birth certificate. I demonstrated that on one of my lectures. The government website, it'll show it. I have a Bosnian American friend that's European. They claim their nationality, and their ID is Bosnian American. I'm telling you, man, you can do things legally if you understand law. It's not no such thing as no more sovereign. That's some European mess. You're going to go to jail with that crap. I'm telling you. And if any more telling you that you some more sovereign, that's bull crap. You ain't no damn more sovereign. I'm telling you, man, SOS means shoot on sight. I'm telling you. I promise you, man. These policy holders, man, when brothers don't understand the law and they come in with a whole bunch of, man, the United States of America ain't kept no dang old treaty. They done broke all the treaties. So what makes you think they're going to keep a treaty? They'll just keep changing it. They'll just keep changing it. So you must understand each level they're going to come from and operate lawfully so you can trump that crap they saying and navigate. I'm telling you, man, I never have a problem with law. And I go everywhere with my fez on. If more see me, I always have my fez on. At the universities, at games. And the only problem what people have is Negro, black, and colors. Europeans know. I'm telling you, all other nationalities know. I guarantee you. What are we ashamed of? Empresses, you can wear the fez. If a Moor telling you not to wear the fez, then tell them to explain what this fez is about. You'd be like, damn, you just explained me. So why I can't rock me? Because this whole fez symbolizes you, empresses. From the four holes to the tassel, to the navel, to the umbilical cord, to everything. To the strings, to everything. 9 to the ninth power of 9. That's why I say the woman is Mayat, the garden that produced food and life. Moors, we must teach our babies this holy and divine creed, Moors. I promise you. This holy and divine creed. So they can stand strong on their square when any opposition come at them. No matter if they're Negro, black, or colored. No matter what the nationality is. And let's teach and come together, Moors. Fallen humanity is you, Asiatic women. We're going to let our kids grow up confused. And we're going to just keep complaining? Or are we going to fall under the right auspices and say, you know what? Let's build. I mean, I tell every brother, check the source. Man, I do real work in the community. I have real businesses. I show young people how to be businessmen. Go to college and get your education. But I show you how to combat that pseudo-academia so you can stand strong and see, man, they've been telling us that we slaves starting in 1700. They ain't tell you about the ancient and modern Britons. They ain't tell you that you ruled Rome. They didn't tell you that the European was dying at age 18, 19. You didn't grow up in no cave. So why are you arguing with that? If a European say they grew up in a cave, let them have that. Why are we arguing? It's so much, you can trace yourself all through historical books that's in doctoral libraries, that's in the Library of Congress. You can trace yourself in their religious books as you take yourself back in 1st century, which they hid and they call it the medieval times, the dark ages, the antiquity times. That's where the history is, the medieval times. But they started brothers off in 1700. I'm telling you. And that's sad with our babies, and I teach all our babies, they know the history. All my youth know the history. So Moors, I just wanted to share that with y'all, man. We're gonna touch on a supreme laws at 4 o'clock, because I was talking to one of my brothers that he's a Muslim, and I say, brother, I love you. I love you, but you should understand that you have a nationality and stop calling yourself black. Yes, I love black is beautiful, but it's not a nationality. Don't get me wrong. But just like black, just like Negro beans, just like Negra beer, it's just describing the color of the beans and the color of that beer. But that's not a nationality. So all Muslims, if they real Muslims and they study right and they're students of the wisdom, they have the supreme lessons that was passed from Fire Muhammad to Elijah Muhammad, about science, about the circumference of the earth and the water, and it said that the Asiatic man is the father of civilization. I mean, we can agree upon that, but the dogma of it, we let the dogma go, and that's why certain figures that was in the Nation of Islam separated. Clarence X, Malcolm X. So we understand things, and I don't diss anybody, but I get with the science of all our figures and all our messiahs that's gone and in the flesh, and we proceed. When people say, well, Norbert Ali said he was a prophet and an angel, yes, you are too, if you understand the etymology of what a prophet and an angel is. We all are prophets and angels. Moors, don't we understand that? If we made in a type and image of our Creator, if God and man is one, if Allah and man is one, if Buddha is man is one, right, Moors? Right? So we navigate the right way, man, and we get out of arguing, and we uplift fallen humanity, man, and we teach. And that's why I'm so passionate about what I do, man. And nothing is secret with me, Moors. It's sacred, but nothing is secret, meaning it's dear to my heart, and I take this serious. That's why I say it's mind, body, and spirit must agree as one. I see, Moors, no disrespect to nobody, but how are you going to speak wisdom and you're not applying that same thing to how you operate on this earth, like far as what you eating and working out? That's an equal balance, man. That's an equal balance. So Moors, I'm just asking brothers and sisters to be a part, man. Donate. If you want to donate $20 a month, if you want to donate $5 a month, whatever it is, I will still ship you literature of a lot of the stuff that I gather and compile. But as you start seeing a lot of the things that especially the books I print, they're way cheaper than what you would pay. And you get a tax exempt receipt when you donate with me. And I teach you. A lot of the people that I study with, I individual teach with them. So they have one-on-one with me. That's what I do with a lot of my students. I do that one-on-one teaching. And people say, how do you have time? Because I make time for what I love. And once I get big, I worry about that then. But right now, man, I'm just asking brothers and sisters to be a part of it. Log on, donate. I need brothers to help me build. We have clothing. It was so hot I had on my green and red Moorish jogging suit. I got one of the emperors that make our bonnets, you know what I mean, our Moorish bonnets. I got all the stitch machines at home, and I just let the people come and work on things in my temple. And I spend my own resources on doing things, That's what I do, man. I spend my own resources, and I help the kids. Yep. But yeah, this part, like I said, we taking 50 kids to the game Thursday to see the Detroit Pistons and the Phoenix Suns. We take them to the football games. I get computers and stuff donated. Like I had a temple out here in Arizona, Moorish, for 3 years, and them Negroes couldn't even keep the temple open. Every time they couldn't pay the funds. So a lot of stuff I shut down. I say I do things for myself, and I teach everybody. And that's why I said it's the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. I'm a Moor, and that's where it stops. But I'm a teacher, and I teach all. I teach our holy and divine creed. And that's what we should be teaching to all that want to know. Our Negro, black, and colors, we should be teaching them, nationalize them. If anything, we should be nationalizing our brothers and sisters and letting them know who they are and teaching them. And we should also be teaching spirituality. I don't get it when Moors say they don't study and teach spirituality. Well, what's Sunday school about then? If you're not teaching spirituality, if you're not teaching for the Holy Quran and from the biblical scriptures and all that, what's Sunday school about? We taught all this science, man. Tune in today, Moors. About 4:30, we're going to teach our lecture. I'm going to give you a little bit more about the Washita Moors. I'm going to give you a little bit more history of that. And I'm going to give you a little bit about these supreme laws that we can all agree upon. Around 4 o'clock, 4:15-ish Moors. I love you all, Moors. Love, truth, peace, freedom, justice, my 2 cents Moors, health, and wealth. And please, more support, man. Donate to get my literature, man, especially if you don't have the Holy and Divine Creed of Moorish Islam. You need that. I got the Sufism and the triple rows of the Adapt Chamber. I mean, I got the House of Ali, the Mystic, and the Adept to teach you about our mantras, to teach you how to set yourself with your rituals and things. The literature is there, and I have it all. 4 o'clock Moors. Peace.